Not necessarily wrong. It was off. It was out of sync. Because I had expected price to retrace into about maybe 25% of the range, or maybe tap 50% of the range, and then draw higher. So yeah, that's what I had expected. But unfortunately, we continued to draw lower. The one good thing I did though was I did. Let's just go to it real quick. I did. Right here. Okay, so I had expected price to reverse here. I jumped in right here at about 87, I believe, and I was already like maybe 30 points into into profit, and I decided to hold on to it because so um, I was so positive that we'd reverse, and the first sign to not to just cover it would have been as soon as price failed to get above here multiple times. Uh, and so once price swept this low again, I added another one, and then as soon as I realized maybe we are going to draw lower, continue to draw lower, so might as well just take it out. I just ended up taking it out. I think I lost about 10 points on each contract, two contracts, so not that big of a loss. But anyways, coming into the afternoon, um, oh, and I hadn't noticed this, but had my bias switched over to bearish, I probably would have caught this setup over here on ES, which was a beautiful setup. I was just bullish biased. That's why I didn't take it. See, as you can see here, we had displacement lower, gap, relative equal highs, sweep of the lows first, sweep of the highs, double purge. Same thing here, where I could have entered here during the 11 o'clock macro. But obviously I did not. I was bullish, so I did not want to take these. So coming into the afternoon session, uh, I was then bearish because I had assumed the price would draw into these lows here as well as these lows here. Uh, and so I began looking for an entry during the 1300 macro. I was so close to getting in here, but as soon as price drew these relative equal highs, I figured we'd sweep these highs and then draw lower. And obviously that did not happen and swept the pre-market low, well, the pre-market and Asia low, and then reversed. And I did not catch any of these. I had tried to get short here after it swept these relative equal highs, got stopped out. Same thing here. Tried to get short up here, got stopped out. Now, in hindsight, these aren't the best setups. Why? Because the setup is primed for a reversal, is primed for a bullish move. Why? Because we have 4 hour 4 hour gap here into a sweep of a session low, so plenty of liquidity down here. So we have that, and then we have a double purge on the lower time frame. Sweep of the high first, sweep of the low, reversal into these highs here. We have SMT here between this low and this low here, this low and this low here. This low did not sweep this low. That's SMT on both on these pairs. And we have a 1 minute unicorn right here. Same thing here, 1 minute unicorn entry here, swept these highs. So I got stopped out. So a red day yesterday. Could have been worse. Could have been yeah, could have been worse had I held onto these highs here, but I didn't. So that's on me. I'm just the only thing that frustrates me, or that I'm frustrated on, is that I did not listen to where price was and what price did prior to this move here. We had swept these lows, and so I had expected price to, reverse here, and I had stayed on with my bullish bias. Uh, I had stayed on with the bearish bias after, I switched biases. But the main thing I should have kept in line was we are still in bullish overflow, and I am bullish today still. So I will be looking for longs, just not shorts, unless we displace lower and we swept this low down here. If we swept this low here, then I'll be done. I'll be done for the day. I don't plan on trading long today. I just want to see what price did. If I trade during the 10 o'clock macro, then I will need to see it clear displacement lower, higher, with definite liquidity sweeps on the 15 or 1 hour. So today I'm bullish. I'm bullish here. We start off on the 50 on the daily here. So on the daily we have price closed above previous day high right here, or the previous day high candle, the, the previous candle body. There you go, high of the candle body on both sides. So I am looking for this to be buy side. Previous day high is buy side. Let's go to the 4 hour. Price held this gap here, so I will be looking for price to draw higher. Same thing here, price held this gap here. I do have this gap here, which I expect to eventually turn into an inverse. Maybe it happened overnight, but if it did happen overnight, what I will look for is I'll look for a retracement somewhere down here and then a draw higher. Same thing here, retracement, then draw higher. I'm not going to be looking for this to cover my profit up here though. What I will be looking for is I'll be looking for maybe a new high after that retracement and then to target that high. Same thing here, maybe a new high to target that retracement and then a new high. So again, this 4 hours, what I have in mind. Now, let's say price did draw lower, swept this low, then maybe I'll look for another draw higher. We do have relative equal. Which one is it? I think it's this one. Yep. Let's actually add it. Relative equal lows right there. Relative equal lows where I will expect price to sweep and then draw higher. I don't expect these lows to get swept, but then again, I may be wrong again. But I don't see it happening because, like, again, we are still in bullish order flow. We did close above this propulsion block here, so we are primed for a run higher. This is a propulsion block to me, so I will be looking for very bullish order flow today. Again, that's why I don't expect these lows to get swept, because these lows are protected in my opinion. Right, let's go over the 60-minute. On the 60-minute, there's nothing. We do have sell side here with a clear 4 candle pattern. So we have buy side up here, sell side down here. Buy side up here, sell side down here. Okay, that's on the 1 hour though. On the 15-minute, going into the close, yesterday we swept buy side. So I'll be looking for price to maybe sweep sell side here into this 1 hour gap, and then the draw higher continues. Same thing here. We swept buy side up here, multiple areas of buy side, relative equal highs. Actually, let's add it now, that way I don't have to be looking at what I'm as to why I'm deciding things. There you go. Again, on the 15-minute, we have price swept buy side. This is sell side right now, but maybe what I am looking for is I'm looking for some sort of sell side to get drawn in here. We sweep that buy side, then we come back again, sweep sell side, and then we draw higher. I will expect for this price right here, this is a 1 hour gap. Combined along with this 4 hour gap, I would expect price to have held here. And we have 0830 news, which is core PCE. Consumer Price Index. No, I forget what it's named. So many different acronyms. But anyways, I do want to see price held here, or I want to see consolidation, and then I want to see a Judas swing sweep, and then we get the draw higher. Again, consolidation, Judas swing, sweep of the lows, and then we draw higher. But again, I do want to see price close above this area here, and I think this would be the better option, to have price closed above here on the 4 hour, and then we get a retracement. So that's what I'm looking for. Again, I'm not looking for shorts today. This burned me yesterday. Not big. It's just yeah. My bias was just I had seen this so many times, where we get displacement lower into these lows. And one thing I can't do is assume the price will continue to do what it does, especially when you are not looking for bearish order flow, when order flow is bullish. I was safe to do that in these areas here and here and here. Why? Because order flow is bearish, right? Order flow is bearish. That's why. Here, I can't do that. Here, I have to remain with the fact that bullish flow, order flow is bullish, um, and that I need to stick to that. Okay, so I can't assume that just because price is displacing lower, price is going to continue to draw towards the low. So yeah, again, we do have this right here since we swept buy side and sell side in the 15-minute. We do have this 50% of the range. So I would like for price to have respected these areas and then to draw higher. So we'll see what happens today. We do have a 4-hour order block here. This too is a 4-hour order block. So we have plenty of confluence in this area where I would expect price to maybe have drawn into this area, and then we did the draw higher. So let's go ahead and connect and see where we're at now. All right, so we are drawing higher. We swept both buy side and sell side. We just swept buy side. So I would like for a retracement lower now. Perfect. Okay. Something I learned a couple of days ago, and I'm gonna say it was an eye opener. An eye opener because where was it? Oh, it was this one right here. This price action here. Okay, so the previous day I had caught a beautiful trade about 40 points, and going into the next day during Asia London, I automatically assumed that we would hold here. But the reason we didn't hold here, and I explicitly said that during one of my streams, was because we had not swept sell side. We swept sell side here, but these are the lower time frames. Okay, so on the hourly we hadn't done that. Not only that, though, we do have relative equal lows here, and so we're doing the same thing as we did here. Oh wait, yeah, we are doing the same thing as we did here. The only difference is why I do believe 50% of this range holds is because we have already done what I was expecting, what we did here, right here, this price action right here. We swept sell side, buy side. We swept sell side, now we're sweeping buy side. So let's move this up here. So I don't expect price to come back down here. I really don't. Okay. Yep, I don't expect this to get swept. I don't expect this to get swept. Even though I am marking sell side, I don't expect sell side to get swept because we've already done what we did here, and then we get the draw higher. We already did here. Okay, so we did this in the span of 2 days. We did this overnight. We did the same thing we did here. We did it overnight. Span of 2 days, span of half a day so far. And again, I will be setting up for a 10 o'clock macro here. So if I'm correct, we're not going to get a 10 o'clock. Actually, we might get a 10 o'clock short, but I'm not looking to get short. What I want to see is I want to see a retracement into 50% of the range. %50 of the range here. I don't need to add that just yet. Right. Okay. Um, so yeah, the 15-minute looks good, and it makes perfect sense as to why. Same thing here, 50% of this range. I don't think these lows get swept. I don't think these lows get swept. So we should hold here somewhere. So I will be looking for some sort of entry down here, which could be this right here. So I want to see price close above here, like I said, like I explained earlier. I want to see price close above this gap here. Same thing with NQ. I want to see price close above here. If it does, then that turns this into an inverse. That means we are violating bearish PD arrays and respecting bullish PD arrays. So once we get a retracement into a bearish PD, bullish PD array, I will look to get long. Same thing here. This one is okay. This one is not so much because it it is up here. But what I will expect is what I am looking for is I am looking for maybe for price to close up here somewhere. Uh, I mean, yeah, that would be nice. I think this one closes up above though. So whichever one closes above, that's fine. But again, what I am looking for is I am looking for a retracement back into 50% of the range. And then this right here, this high, however far, as long as it retraces into below 50% and my entry is at 50%, I will be targeting that high. Whatever high gets put in during the 0930 to whatever time frame. I don't think we get a 10 o'clock macro unless immediately we get the draw lower. If we get the draw lower immediately, then I will be looking for a 10 o'clock macro entry down here somewhere. And we do have plenty of confluence here. We do have, let's check the, yep, we definitely have plenty of confluence. So we have this 4 hour, this gap here, but obviously the gap is up here. So we do have a tiny little gap here. Right there. There's no gap like that down here. No inverse either. No inverse either. But we do have this. What just happened? All right. Let's just move this here. Let's move it up here. Right. So we do have this 1 hour gap here. I'll just take this off. I don't need that. 50% of this range. So yeah, we do have plenty of confluence down here as to whether this draw should happen or not. Again, this low is protected. Yeah, this low is protected, so I'm not looking. I don't expect price to come down here because again, everything that it did over here over the span of 2 days, it has already done it overnight. But again, it all has to do with how price reacts down here. I would like it again. I would like it for confirmation because I mean, on the hourly we already closed above here, so this is technically an inversion on the 1 hour. But it'd be even better if it happened on the 4 hour, and if it doesn't, then that's fine too, because on the 1 hour it already did so. On the 1 hour on NQ, it already closed above constant encroachment. That's a I'm not going to say that's a bearish sign, but that could be. I'm not going to say that's a bullish sign, but that could be something to maybe take into account as price is retracing. If it retraces, what I want to see is I don't want to see displacement. I want to see maybe a lethargic move down into these areas, kind of like not ES, but NQ right here. NQ had a rather lethargic move. As you can see, this body closed all the way up here. This right here, all of this is just consolidation. Then we get to draw lower into 50% of this range. We get to draw higher. So that's what I'm looking for down here. And I hope that that's what happens. If it doesn't happen during the 10 o'clock macro, I will be looking for a sweep of maybe a 5-minute or a 15-minute. I don't care about a 1 minute. unless it's, you know, well defined, unless it's if it's just three candles that make up the swing high, swing low, then no. But if it's multiple candles, kind of like this one right here, and then price comes down to sweep it, not necessarily saying that it will happen here, but let's assume that this is the 1 minute. If it does that, then maybe I'll give it a chance. But other than that, um, I remain bullish. I do want price to come back down here. Actually, let's take a look at the 15-minute. I do want to ensure that I get the best entry here. So I do like this gap here, right there. We have a gap here, but I don't like that. We have this here. We do have this breaker here, right? On the hourly, we had this tiny little gap, but maybe we can extend it further a little. And then maybe another one down here. So why am I using these? I'm using these because they're below they're below equilibrium. Yeah, they're below equilibrium. We do have SMT at the lows now and on the 15-minute. Yeah, they're below equilibrium. So because of that, it means that we have a higher chance. If I put it up here, you know, price always likes to retrace back into 50% of the range, kind of like here. As you can see here, buy side was swept, sell side was swept. Order flow remains bullish, comes back into 50% of the range for the 0.4. Damn, I really got to start getting up for that, because I knew that would happen. Um, once I realized that that my bias, even though I was a little off here, it was correct to continue on with the bullish bias. And we are still generating liquidity here. Each new low is a higher low, so that's good. But again, I am looking for price to come back into this area here. There's a tiny little volume imbalance here, which is already covered by this gap here. So we'll see. We'll see where we stand. That's where I'll be looking for my long. So the same thing I'm looking. The same thing that happened here, where we took out buy side here. After we took out buy side here, retracing into 50% of the range. Buy side, we took out sell side. We get a reversal here, unicorn. Then we get to draw higher. So same thing I'll be looking. I think, not I think, but I will be, if we get a draw into this area, I will be aggressive. Yeah, I'll be very aggressive, because this right here is a true unicorn, 15-minute unicorn. As soon as this body closed above these bodies, that was changing the state of delivery. And as you can see, each one of these candles did not close below this candle here. This one penetrated it, but the breaker is this whole candle up here. But it's the body that you got to pay attention to. Each one of the bodies never closed below the low of this body. Same thing here. Each one of these bodies never closed, and this low did not sweep this low. So the bodies respected this unicorn. So that's why I'll be more what's the word? I'll be more aggressive down here. But I do hope that we retrace that low. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. Maybe we see some sort of entry short. Yeah, there is an entry short here, but I would only target this low here, and ultimately down here. We got a tiny gap here. Nope. Yep, we got a tiny little gap here. Hmm. I think I see what's happening. Okay. Oh, well, we do have a unicorn on the 1 hour now, as well as, oh, actually on both right here. Breaker. The only thing I don't like is the fact that they're not at 50% of the range. Well, except for ES. I like ES more than I like NQ. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to target ES again. And there we go. All right, so this is the unicorn. Right there. Hmm. Fridays are usually a day where going into the following week, you can not necessarily predict. You can yeah, you can basically predict where the market's going to draw towards. So what I'm thinking is, even if we don't come down into this area and we continue to draw higher, or we just consolidate up here for the whole day, next week we'll get to draw into this area here, and then we continue the draw higher into this market maker buy model. Yeah, into this market maker buy model where this is terminus. But if that's what's happening today, we just get consolidation, then I'll be targeting this breaker here. Another thing that could happen is we continue to draw higher. Yep, we continue to draw higher. We get up to this area, and then I have to readjust my 50% of the range up here, and 50% of this range lands here somewhere, and then I can use a gap up here. So we'll see what we do here. Yeah. The reason why I do think this unicorn works is because this whole area is balanced. Yep, this whole area is balanced. All right, there we go. All right, so we're getting the draw lower. We got relative equal lows. If we leave these relative equal lows, then we draw towards the highs. We get a sweep at the highs. And maybe we can target these lows later on. Because I don't think price draws to buy side unless we get a draw into this area here. We just tapped into this breaker. I'll be more happy if price trades into here on NQ. I don't want to see this. Oof. This could also be a pretty good bullish sign. Yep, I think we're barely tapping into it, and then we're drawing higher. But again, I would like for price to come back into that area. I think we are about to draw some sort of SMT here. No sweep at the highs. I don't want this to hold. If we do hold on this breaker, we're probably going to see a setup on the 5 minute. So I'm not really too in a hurry to jump in here. So I think we are setting up for a 10 o'clock macro setup. Darn. Okay. Let's take a look at the 1 minute on ES. I just want to see signs that we are going to continue to draw lower. I don't want this to be yeah, I don't want these to be the lows. And if these are the lows, then I think we're setting up for next week price action. Maybe we had a sweep up here on ES. Or this high here. We have relative equal lows all the way down here. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue watching. There's SMT on the 15 minute at the highs, so it does make logical sense that price will draw lower. There you go. Okay, so I do like how NQ is drawing lower. But what I don't want to see is I don't want to see ES draw down here. I want to see it tap into this area and then draw higher. Alright, so we're getting a draw lower. Beautiful. We do have relative equal lows, so we may come down here, but I don't expect that because this whole area is balanced here. A little more down here. Yep, all the way down here. Okay, so we just rebalanced this whole area here. And I'm getting in micros. Yep, all right, just got in here. A little higher than usual than I had expected. My entry is I'll take it. $79 points. 79 points up here as well. All right. So the reason why I'm long here with confidence again is because on the 15-minute, that's what I'm seeing. My stop is down here. So I'm taking about a 40-point stop to make 80 and then some. So we'll see. Just one micro though. I'm not looking to be heavy today. I am way outside the macro. But as long as we just consolidate, I'm not really too worried. Yeah, as long as we just consolidate, then that's fine. But let's just say we draw higher, because right now we have unicorn here, swing high, swing low here. So let's say we draw higher and we hold above this right here. If we hold above this, then that's a unicorn setup. But maybe this becomes a unicorn. So who knows? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take it. Right. All right. So I just took it off at 10 points. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna re-add down here if it comes down here. Kind of like building capital little by little. We get one more sweep down here. I'll add. That gives me more capital to allow for my stop. 15. Let's do that. Okay. We still haven't traded into this here. It would actually give me a better, because my earlier entry was 18. Yep. All right. And I put it in between, so 1250. So right here. Okay, so this is a swing high now. Maybe one more sweep. just met that low there. Haven't traded into this breaker yet. So the objective right now is to just build capital with every new low that gets formed. There we go. Come on. All right, so we just traded into that. See what ES is going to do. Tapped into it a little bit. I would like one more tap. Come on. I like what we're doing here. We're just generating liquidity at the highs and the lows, so no worries there. Eight more minutes into the macro. There we go. Just a little more. There we go. Come on. Almost got triggered in there. Alright, I think this next candle is going to be the one to trigger me in. We're 5 minutes away from that. The macro, I mean the 15-minute candle. We are closing with a wick down here, so that's fine. Come on. And the 4-hour is going to close below that candle, like I said. But again, the 1 hour is already bullish, so not really too worried about that. We're about to close here in 3 seconds. Right there. The only thing okay, so we do have SMT at the lows. First stage, second stage. But again, I do want to see one more sweep. At least with, well, NQ already did it. So that's the only thing that might be keeping me from pulling the trigger. Well, not keeping me. That's the only thing that may make me pull the trigger as soon as the 10 o'clock macro starts. All right. Hmm. Everything depends on how this leg um, works out. Okay. I don't think this gap holds. A couple more seconds. Two more minutes until the macro starts. Okay. All right. So I just pulled the trigger there on ES. I'm keeping my stop rather large actually. I don't think it comes back into this area here because NQ already did that for us. So my stop is below this area here, so about a 6-point stop, which is fine. And I don't have a hard stop, so I will be using a market out if I'm wrong. Just the only thing I don't like though is the displacement. It's not displacing, so I think we might get one more sweep. With every new candle body though, we are closing below the previous one. So if I'm correct, then this might be the unicorn here. But it just has to get above. We already have change in the state of delivery here. So we'll see. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll add another one if I get an entry. Yeah, I'll add another one. Okay, we're going into the macro right now, so I want to see it. I want to see what this does. We have an inverse here. But honestly, I would like for another low here, so my longs on NQ to get triggered. Okay, all right, this looks better now. Yeah, no, this doesn't tell me anything. I think we might get another low here. If we get a low into this area here, I'm going to add another one. Let's do this. This is the breaker I'm looking at. We did have news, so I don't expect price to consolidate. I expect price to draw higher. We do have this propulsion block. All right, I'm going to cover it, and then I'll add it back into low. Decisions. No, I'm just going to keep it. All right, so we are getting that draw lower. We are holding above this right here. This is all generated liquidity. I'm still watching now. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. 5-minute has some areas here. This is all balanced price ranges. Traded into this area here. 50%. 50%. All right, let's just leave it here. We continue to hold here, but in about 5 minutes we'll get a real answer here as to what it wants to do. This right here could be the order block I'm looking for. sweep yet. No sweep yet. Well, we do have a sweep on the highs here. So we should get another sweep here. Okay. I'm starting to like this now. Okay. All right. I took out that buy order I had here, but what I am looking for is I am looking for this new low. I'll jump in a couple of this is a turtle soup entry, so that's why I'm interested. And ES is not doing anything. There's NQ. Come on, give me what I want. Trade it into this right here. Come on, just a little more. One more minute. Okay, so we do have a swing high here. Right here. Swing high, swing low was swept. So this could be the reversal I'm looking for. But it all has to do with how it reacts now. Okay. All right. So we're so far so good on ES. I did want one more sweep, but after we sweep this high, I want to see how it reacts. If we just linger around, then I'll just take it off because we might come back here, back to sweep this low here. We're about to take off here for this macro. There we go. All right. Nope. Oh man, I didn't get a chance to add. Oh, that blows. But that's fine. All right, so now my target is up here for ES. And Q, it did not sweep this low, so I am looking for price to close above this. If we do, then I'll just jump in here. This is the model I'm looking for. We'll see. Beautiful. And Q, I'm not going to get the chance to add. Damn. All right, so this is the breaker I was talking about. We just broke above that. So now what I want to see is I want to see price. I don't care if it trades through it, but I want to see the candles of the bodies respect this breaker. As long as I continue to see that, that's all I want. Well, we took out buy side, and we might come back down to take sell side again. But we'll see. Yep, I think we are going to take out sell side again. This is the order block I'm looking at. Okay, that's much better. We held this inverse here, so we should be drawing higher now. Got to take a look at the 15-second to see what exactly happened. I can't remember if buy side was taken first. If it was, and then we came down to take sell side, then this is a beautiful model. Do I want to hold? I mean, it's only one contract. Decisions. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set it for 10 points. So I have my sell order at 19. Actually, I'm setting it for 11 points. So now that we held above here, because here technically we even though we swept buy side, this is the unicorn here. All right, so this is the unicorn. I want to see price hold above this. ES doesn't necessarily need to come back into this area here. We are coming back. Darn. Maybe one more go around. But again, I'm still watching here to see how price closes here, because this is the candle that broke this unicorn, and I like how it's respecting it. But it all has to do with how it reacts. Let's take the 5-minute. I think NQ comes back to sweep these lows. Yeah, I think NQ does. So if that's the case, then I'm gonna jump into NQ as well. May not get that chance though. The one thing I do like about both of these is that we are balancing pretty nicely, and because of that, we might just continue to trend higher today. So we'll see. The only thing I'm having trouble understanding is NQ. I mean, it is holding at this inverse here, so that's the only good thing. But maybe one more sweep will be enough. Yeah, um, I'm beginning to think that NQ sweeps the low. Maybe even ES. All right, let's get ready for ES. I mean NQ. It's just taking so long. That's the 5 minute. All right, so we're starting to draw lower here. ES is not. So one more sweep, come on. Five more minutes, 10 more seconds before the 10 o'clock macro is over. And since it's not working out, I think I'm just gonna take it out. Let's see how it closes first. I do like how the 1 hour open and close, well, opened. So we'll see. So we're still looking good, but it's just taking too long of a time. Let's take a look at the 5 minute. Yeah, the 5 minute has nothing. NQ is the only reason why I haven't, why I'm having trouble believing in this trade on ES here. But ES is setting up. Well, ES does look stronger, so I'll just hold on to it. Okay, so the idea to add to NQ is no longer there. If I do, I mean not add, if the idea to get into NQ is no longer there. If I do get into it, it'll be during the 11 o'clock macro. Right now I'm only concentrated on ES. Yeah, I'm solely concentrated on ES because what I want to see is I want to see it draw higher, maybe close above this breaker here. So there is NQ with a new low. So here is where I expect the reversal to occur. No. All right, so I took along with NQ. My stop is this low here. Because this is the hourly breaker. Okay. So far so good. I want to see how this 15-minute closes. There is SMT on both sides now. Right there. And right here. Okay. A couple more seconds. I want to see how the 15-minute closes. Right there. All right. I think I did the right decision by adding, not adding, jumping into NQ here. We'll see though. I want to see how this closes. 20 more seconds. Okay. All right, so that's the swing low. Let's go back to the 1 minute now. Okay, so yep, we have what I was expecting or looking for or wanting to see. We have this, and we have this. So now I want to see continuation. That's all I want to see. I don't want to see anything else. I'm just going to put my stop down here since we're both. I think we're having trouble getting above that. We're way past the macro too, and I don't like that. Let's see what the next candle does. I don't want price to come back down here. Yeah, this could be my stop, but yeah, I don't want price to come back down here, so I'll take my stop if the next one closes below this right here, because we're way past the macro already, so If it does, then I do want to see it draw higher now. Otherwise, there's no reason to be in this anymore. There we go. We're seeing something, but I want to see continued up move. Let's see what the 5 minute looks like. Well, I like how the body closed above. All right. Yeah, we're way past the macro. Still holding somewhat. All right, so I took it off. I just don't like it anymore. I'll probably hate myself. I mean, I ended up getting 3 points profit. I'm also gonna take off. Did I take off NQ already? Oh yeah, I did. So I'm all out on everything. I think I do think this one works out, but I don't. But I wanted to see faster price action than just what I just saw right now. Not the best price action. I do like this model better, but we are outside of the macro now, so that's why I'm kind of a little bit turned off by it. So yeah, I mean, I'll come back during the 11 macro if we're still doing this. I mean, we took out buy side, took out sell side. Maybe we come back down to take this again. ES maybe just consolidates, does the same thing all over again. But I am still bullish. I do expect this to be the draw on liquidity later on. So if this is a reversal, then what I will look for is I'll look for second stage, which is my more favorite of the two. Look for second stage distribution into the highs there. So other than that, yeah, that's pretty good. Overall, not the best week, especially after yesterday. Yesterday was kind of just weird. I did not like how I reacted yesterday. We do have relatively good lows here, but again, I do believe this low here is protected. I don't think we come back to take this low, but either way, um, a lot of good lessons for next week. A lot of really good lessons that I know that I have in my journal now. Um, so I think next week I'll be having a really good week. But yeah, that's pretty much it. See you next week.